To go a step further, cause my ability to flow kinda makes me wonder, am I musically demented? And like, what is the reason for my musical existence? I put pen to paper and apply my writing skills, based upon my musical cadence skills. Therefore, making a nigga inevitable. Poetic language, far beyond the normal level. Vivid ideas allow me to do this verbally. Writer's block, I never heard of these. Speak my mind, deliver my thoughts, and I'll be able to continue to flow without a flaw. Cause spoken ideas leave the mind drunk. So if I have any doubts about an idea, I throw it out. Profession to rhyme, but I'm a jack of all trades. Therefore, I can work the board and still perform on stage.
Hello everyone, welcome to Woke at Midnight. I'm Jason Bryant. I'm with Summer Frazier and Joe Bryant, my father. We're here to talk about some important topics, some things that kind of get the juices flowing, and we're going to start it off with what's been happening recent in the news. I'm sure everybody's seen it. We have ICE agents out here, all right? Donald Trump got in office and decided that the most important thing that happened was to cleanse the country of all of its illegal immigrants and criminals, with the first objective being all the most horrible illegal criminals there are. There he hired a bunch of ICE agents and has unleashed them around a bunch of cities in the world. You're starting to see that they're probably in a lot of blue Democrat cities, but who's really paying attention to that? So what we're going to do is talk a little bit more about that, and I kind of want to hear, I want to start with you, Pops. Okay. I want to hear, one, do you think that the Trump administration is approaching the get all the illegals out of the country situation the correct way? And two, how do you kind of see the entire immigration process from an American perspective? Is it the right way that we're doing things? Can we do it better? If not, like, what are some details that you can provide with your infinite wisdom for us to be able to do it better?
Was number one a joke?
Well, half the country thinks he's doing pretty good.
Well, I'm going to go off script a little bit. You don't mind, do you?
I didn't know we had a script.
I'm going to tell you who ICE is, just in case you guys don't know. I want to properly introduce ICE to you, okay? Do you know who really ICE is? I mean, do you really know? ICE, you know those guys from South Africa that they shipped over here and just shipped them over here? The racist guys, the racist white guys from South Africa. That's part of ICE. You remember those people on January 6th that he let out of jail? That's part of ICE. You have a bunch of racist people running around, and I'm not biting my tongue, a bunch of racist people running around with masks on and with guns, intimidating the country. Why are we scared of these people? They're not even police. They're immigration enforcement. If you're going to be scared of those guys, right? If you're going to be scared of them, then you might as well be scared of the secretary that works for the government, because they have no power on you. So this I have a question, right? The governor of Minnesota, the police officers in Minnesota, the governor of Los Angeles, the police officers in Los Angeles. Why are you guys letting ICE come there and you're not doing anything? Why aren't you arresting them? If the secretary of any government agency came down there pulling guns, where would they be at right now? So the only way I can think is that you guys must be in it with them. Because why are they terrorizing our communities, and why aren't our police forces protecting us? Why are women getting beat and everybody just sitting there with their cell phones like, "Oh, let's get them"? Are you guys serious now? Since why aren't we protecting our women? Why aren't we protecting our kids? Because they got guns, you can carry a gun too. You do it all the time anyway. So now all of a sudden they put on a mask and you scared? Are you serious? This to the ridiculous standpoint. Police officers across this country, if you're a real police officer, then you wouldn't let these people come and terrorize your neighborhoods. You're supposed to be protecting your neighborhoods. Black men, this is a call out to black men. Don't you let an ICE agent come into your areas, grab your women, throw them up against the car, grab your kids, kidnap them. Stay strapped and make sure that you protect your area and you protect your street. And I guarantee you that we'll end this old ICE bug crap in a minute.
Now let me just it was two questions, but let me kind of dive in on this first one really fast, because it's fair to note that there's been a lot of protest, right? Tens of thousands of people out in the streets saying ICE no, ICE out, all type of things, including celebrities saying no to ICE, bad money, all of the things like that. You know, people are speaking out, and there's been 2 killings in the last month, in which an ICE agent basically shot a citizen for what the Trump administration is saying that they were interfering in ICE enforcement policies and processes. So the whole administration is defending the shootings, and these people died. One guy who died, 37-year-old nurse, he did have a gun on him. We all saw the video. Now, obviously, you have AI out there that can manipulate videos. You have different angles and things like that. But we all have eyes, and I think most of us saw that the guy didn't have his gun out. It was just on him. They took the gun from him, shot him, bow, basically killing him dead. And then one woman who they say were trying to run over an agent, shot her through the glass and killed her instead of getting out the way. What does it say to you when you see that people are trying to, I don't want to say stop ICE, but basically, they're protesting. They say, hey, listen, we don't want you here. They're shooting people, saying, get out the way or you're part of the problem. And then the Trump administration is defending that.
Well, let me ask you a question. If somebody came in your house, right, and with a mask on, and they got a gun, what you gonna have?
A gun also. Mm-hmm.
So what you gonna try to do? Shoot them before
they shoot you? Of course, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Correct.
So here's the thing that I'm saying. If you look at their tactics, right, they only bullying people, which means if you by yourself, they gonna jump on you. If you got one gun against 100 guns, they gonna bully you. You understand what I'm saying? What if it was 200 ICE agents against 500 people with guns? What would they do? See, bullies only bully you when you don't fight back. So I have to speak up for the black culture. You see what I'm saying? We shouldn't ever let anybody come into our neighborhoods and bully us. We should never be fear of anybody or any culture. We should never do that. The first thing that we always have to have in any community, people have to have in any community, is security. See, y'all so busy chasing the bag and doing all that stuff that you won't even protect your own women, won't even protect your own kids. You sitting up there taking cell phone videos. Why? These guys don't have anything behind them but ignorance. That's it. You gonna let them outthink you? Have you ever heard some of them nice people?
So what are your thoughts on that?
Stay your black ass at home. This has nothing to do with black Americans. They are wanting us to get involved so that they can be even more savage. This is time for white America, Hispanic America, all the immigrants. We have given you the blueprint on how to fight for your rights in this country. We are going to sit at home where it is the safest, where martial law will not be probably been acted, and we've given you the blueprint. And what I will not do is sit here and advocate for Jerome's and Raheem's and Leroy's take their black ass out there knowing that shooting them will get no sympathy, will get no coverage. We already have suffered our own personal genocide in this country. This is time where we kind of sit back and we show up when we need to show up. You show up at the polls. If you need a protest, I'll make sure you get a sandwich. We're on the sandwich committee. We make sure you got something to eat when you out there. We cannot be out there. It is not safe for us to be out there. I'm opposed to anybody, Black American, having as a matter of fact, Haitians, Jamaicans, Africans, sit your asses at home too, because y'all look like me. Sit your asses home and let Ambers and them Kimberlys and them Bobs, you let their asses go out there and let themselves get shot up in HD so they can understand what the hell's going on and what's the play. This is just like what they did at the World War II when they took the Japanese people, and just because they were Japanese, they threw them in concentration camps just based on nothing else. Had them in there for 2 or 3 years. They lost their businesses, their jobs, all of that. So the history is repeating itself. Different reason. They're illegals. But that's just me. If something happens, because y'all listen to him, I don't want to be like, you was up there and didn't say nothing. You had on the green in the bun. No, sit y'all black asses at home. I don't want no black blood being shed over something that has nothing to do with us.
You know, that's an interesting outlook on it, because it's from the black perspective. And to your point, you know, historically, we've kind of gone through our ICE attacks, you know,
right,
and being recorded on videos also, you know, even before AI and before everybody had it on their phones. And so we've kind of been through it. At what point is it now in which you're not just a Black American being with your community only, but also a American citizen defending what's we have left of democracy?
So I first of all, what I was speaking to is if we're so blinded to think that the Mexicans and the Latinos are the only one that's being affected. Do you know right now, I think the statistic was 79,000 black children are missing right now. And what they did is they labeled it. I heard the statistic the other day. They labeled it to whereas that they were, was it a certain age group or whatever it was that that they couldn't, that it wasn't a part of the statistics of a missing girl, so they're not looking for them, missing kids. It's black people all across this country that are just disappearing. So now let's go back to Germany, right? How did that happen in Germany? How did they massacre a whole group of people?
It started slow.
It started slow, but they went from house to house. So what do they try to do? Do y'all actually really think that ICE wants the Mexicans? No. Read Project 2025. Okay? Read it. And I've read a lot of it, and they'll tell you what they want. What they want is the Mexicans, right, to take the lower level jobs. That's why they start firing all the black women, because they had the middle level to the upper level jobs. A lot of black women had that, right? So they got rid of that whole, like, fire all of them. Start calling all the corporations, fire them. All that's just plain. The reason why they acting like they going after these Mexicans so hard is to fulfill their base till they make it to the midterms. That's why they not saying nothing. But all you got to do is read behind the lines. Go back to history. Since when you seen them have a problem with the Mexicans and stuff? They ain't never had no problem with them. Why you think they voting with them? No, they're trying to destroy us and get rid of us. We'll have a genocide on our hand if we don't fight back. That's what we'll have.
So you're feeling like ICE is like the Trump administration's personal security force.
That's what it is. But that's what it is.
They're used to carry out
Yeah, they're the modern day Nazis.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what they are. These people is not. See, why they have on masks? Why? Right?
Some what they say is because they have families and it's controversial and all of that fun stuff. But
I think it's very dangerous to refer to ICE as Nazis when you know what the Nazis did and what ICE is doing. That is a very dangerous comparison. Literally gas chambers, shooting them in ditches. Like, this was super serious. And we're talking about people who have illegally come into the country and are reaping American benefits, and they want them to go back to their home country. These are two separate things. I think it's very. When people say ICE is the Klan, I'd be like, really?
What
really?
What benefits do they have by sending them back? That's all gaslighting. They don't give a damn about them Mexicans and sending them back.
I absolutely don't. However,
no,
it's
I'm
about
saying they don't.
They absolutely don't. But I do believe this is a distraction, right? This is why I say Kenneth Porter was the first person that died in 2026, and even when they talk about all the victims, his name is always left off. They like the black bodies enough. And I think I'm okay to say it's enough. Ain't no more black bodies gotta always be on the front line for every single issue. It's crazy.
Well, I think it's even more dangerous to think that your enemy is not trying to kill you when they have shown us that throughout the years, when they have slaughtered us through. Can we go back to the 1900s?
If the enemy is trying to kill us,
yeah.
You don't understand. First of all, white supremacy is everybody's enemy. But black people do not always have to be on the front. I just said I'm going to make sure they get a sandwich. I'm going to donate the money to make sure they get a sandwich. And you don't have to treat people inhumane. This is the problem. Obama has deported more people than Trump.
Absolutely.
Let's keep it real.
So that's my point.
Obama really did go after the criminals.
Right.
And he did it humanely.
Right.
It's the inhumane treatment that I'm not going to tell black people walk through that door knowing that you will have bloodshed.
Do you let's go back, let's talk about slavery a little bit, right? If you go back to the 1900s, you know what white people did? They went down and burned all of our cities, killed us,
right,
buried us, used us as furniture. Do you think what do you think "Make America Great Again" means? This is what they trying to bring back. They don't have hatred for all these other people like they do us.
No, they have hatred for anybody that's not them. And then once it's just them, then it'll be blondes because it's the brunettes, and then it'll be green eyes. I just feel like the makeup. Everybody has a makeup, right? Like Haitians, big warriors. Africans, warriors. You have the Taino people, very peaceful. Every culture of people have their makeup, and unfortunately, I feel like Europeans, they have a lot of greed and hate in their makeup. This is why on every civilization, the minute they laid eyes on them blue eyes, shit went downhill. That is history. So I don't understand. This is their makeup, and they will eventually fight each other.
So here on this show, we like to talk about solutions. All right, we have the problem. And even though we may not be 100% aligned on what the actual problem may be, I think we can be 100% aligned and say that there is there's corruption, there's hate,
right,
and there is, that corruption and hate is at the highest power right now, and is being used against people who are
process.
A process.
And that's what they've been doing.
And that's what they've been doing. They've been going through a process.
And it's a misdemeanor. Don't forget that, y'all.
Misdemeanor. Whether it's a misdemeanor, crime, felony, whatever. All right. What are we doing to ensure? Because these people that are coming over, they may have something going over in their country. I mean, it's been a war-torn world for a long time, and you come to America, you seek to not be a part of that, and we try to open up the pipeline so that they can get citizenship and leave that type of life at home. And at the end of the day, we're Americans, but we're also humans.
Right.
Okay, we want people
That's
to
the problem.
not die.
We're forgetting that.
We want mothers to be able to raise their child in a not war-torn. So how do we do that from a process standpoint?
So
to make the border better without having to round up a bunch of people, throw them in concentration camps, and kill people on the way while doing that.
Okay, so here's the thing. Let me go back just a little bit. First of all, I never said go attack anybody. I said protect yourself. Protect yourself. Protect your communities. What did I say? Protect our women. Protect our kids. Is that what I said, right?
You did say that.
So protecting your women and protecting your kids has nothing to do with us fighting a war or anything. It's just if you come at us, we're going to protect ourselves. So let me clear that up. So now, this problem's been going on, this hate for all of history, really. You see what I'm saying? So how we protect ourselves is how do we stop this is by protecting ourselves. Because if you read on a lot of regimes like this, right, it's all about fear. So when Farrakhan said something the other day, he said if black people would step up to the plate, right, it wouldn't be no bloodshed. And see that's what I'm on right there. Like, what bloodshed is it gonna be? Do you see what I'm saying? So if somebody comes into your house, right, and wants to rob you or do whatever, you should be able to protect yourself. So why do we let them come into the communities, right? Our communities. I ain't talking about, I never even mentioned Mexicans or any other community. I'm talking about our communities. How have we let the police for years, so I can tie this in, beat our people right in front of us, and we don't do nothing? We supposed to just be like, Martin Luther King admitted that he was wrong. You can never take violence off the table because you're dealing with people that's inhumane. Do you understand what I'm saying? That don't mean go out there and kill people and just, come on, let's fight. No. That means if you come to me, I'm going to protect myself. So I'm on the Malcolm side.
Like we say in our group of friends, we say stay safe, but also stay dangerous. You want to just always be able to protect yourself, and that's understandable. My question was actually around the immigration system that we have in place right now.
The immigration.
How does it get?
The immigration system.
How do we get it to where we need it to be?
The immigration system was great
prior to Trump.
It was great.
Okay.
It's been great.
Even when people were flooding in under Biden.
Yes, okay. because you know why? You know why? This is a country of immigrants. And here's another thing that people need to understand for all you people who can't stand to live in the country with other people. This country, do y'all know this country is only 10% developed? Do y'all know that?
You're talking about the geographical landscape.
10% developed. Okay. If you don't like black people, you don't have to live near them. Go build your communities another place. They doing it anyway. They got communities now. Since Trump in town, everybody all happy since he in power and saying, we're going to build our own community out here. And guess what? Blacks ain't allowed. Good. Great. Do you see what I'm saying? If Mexicans go and build their own community, they don't want to be around us. Great. Because I want to be around people who love me. But guess what? There's plenty of room to do that. Have you ever been up north When I hit the Mason-Dixon line, I get to Cincinnati, I be thinking I'm in the old South. You know, it ain't nothing but a bunch of grass, a bunch of trees. When you go from Cincinnati all the way to Detroit, you ain't nothing but, it's like you was down in the country from back in the day. This place actually is underdeveloped. You don't have to be around people.
But what the Trump administration is peddling is that those people being here illegally in our country is causing our taxes to go up. It's causing our medical bills to go up. It's causing our property taxes to go up. It's causing our home values to inflate because they're staying in houses. There's not enough housing for us.
Lies.
They're all lies. Okay.
They're lies. And then what we have to understand is go back to men with black self-esteem. When I hear black men say this will really hurt me. When they be like, they taking our jobs. If somebody taking your job, bro, look in the mirror. If somebody taking your job, look in the mirror, bro. Quit acting like white people owe you a job. When I was saying that in our last episode 1, when I was talking about the football and the athletes, I'm saying you don't have to be a part of their companies. You don't have to be a part of nothing. If you want to feel free, if you don't want to get 60-something years old and you calling down to some white people saying, can you please let me get my 401k? Ain't you tired of that? Ain't you tired of white people bossing a grown person around and keeping your money? Come on now, we got to smarten up. If you want being independent is the greatest feeling in the world. Everybody in this country should have a house and live good, but they stealing it. All this is a distraction to steal the money. Everybody, we should be, if Summer got a house and she needs a house, we should say, let's get together and build a house. And we build, everybody should have a house. Where does this come from to where people think that for me to do good, you got to do bad? I forgot what country that was, but they just gave each one of their citizens $300,000. They invested the country's money, and they end up giving each one of their citizens $300,000.
U.S. dollars? U.S. dollars or?
I don't know. It was a lot of money. And then now, what's the country name? Is it Torre? Boniface? What's the? I can't think of the country name.
Oh, in Africa.
Yeah, but he building all free housing. They just stealing, and y'all don't get it. And all this is a distraction to steal. They keep this racism going. But see, Trump, he's fooling everybody. Trump is 70-something years old, almost 80 years old, right? So he knows he's going to jail. So how do you think this going to be an election? You think this man going to jail and he got the whole army behind him? He came out and said it. He said, y'all not never getting this government back. Did you hear him the other day? He was like, oh, we're going to war. You can't go to,
Yeah. I won't take anything off the table.
It's sure. Not going to be any more elections. That's it. It's not going to be a midterm.
There will be elections. There will be elections.
It won't be a midterm.
There will be midterms.
It won't be one this year coming.
There will be midterms.
Okay.
There will be midterms.
Okay.
So I am very willing to set the calendar date and be like, didn't I tell you there will be midterms? Okay.
So doomsday scenario, but what are your thoughts on the immigration in general? How do we fix it? And I mean, what Pop is saying that, listen, everything that they're saying to give them excuse to do what they do is all lies. You know, immigrants don't really affect the average American person that much. They'll bring up all of these murder cases with these illegal immigrants who are violent offenders and say that's the reason. But we all know that people, well, I try not to be super empathetic about it, but you know, people die every day, you know, right? That's, so what are your thoughts on that entire situation?
They arrested a 5-year-old. They arrested a 5-year-old. Sound like a distraction? Because you're not going to sit up here and get me to believe that there's any kind of humanity in that. And it's absolutely a distraction. That's how I know it's a doozy. It's a whatever the distraction is. Oh, it's a doozy, because you're arresting a 5-year-old and people are saying, It's a content creator who pretends to have an immigration line where you report people, and you have people calling on little kids. The little kindergartners, I heard them speaking Spanish. You need to look into them. Y'all are turning on kindergartens. A lot of hate in your heart, champ.
And you know,
a lot of hate in your heart.
And just to kind of like add to that a little bit, remember we were doing Super Bowl, right? Had the Bad Bunny halftime show. Yeah, it was all in Spanish. But what was really concerning was, one, Trump's Turning Point USA had their own country Super Bowl
With Kid Rock.
Yeah, with Kid Rock, and then everything afterwards are, you go on social media or on news or whatever, and you see people are like, "Oh man, I didn't understand a word he was saying. What a terrible,
Well, you hated Kendricks and you understood every single word. Hate is in your heart, champ. You understood every word in Kendrick Lamar and you still hated it.
Right.
And America does not have an official language.
Right.
There you go with that. Speak all the Spanish you want to. And when you know what we have done to the Hispanic people, what the American government has done to them, I do believe citizenship, the fact that they want to be a citizenship, is the absolute least that you could do with the harm that we have done to those people.
Let me just close out this segment by saying this. As you guys alluded to, or not alluded to, what you're saying, which is fact, is that America is made up of immigrants. That's what our ancestors come from. It's actually our superpower to be able to get so many different points of view, different cultures, and mix it into a pot and mold the best things that come from those. So instead of trying to get people out, what are we doing to try to keep them in while still treating criminals as they should be treated? Sending them to jail, but we've seen in the government where people are actually treated as criminals when they're not. So that's a whole other topic. But what I'm saying is this: ICE, all the inhumane treatments, the Trump administration, all the aggression against people just for trying to live a life, for trying to get their family to safety, for trying to be in a better place. There's no place for that here in America, and we can do better.
Oh.
Quiet on the set. 3, 2, 1.
Are you ready? 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 Are you ready?
The Trump administration is completely out of control in the way that they're handling everything. And at the end of the day, we should all just be able to see that they have a greater agenda afoot here. It's very obvious. And for those that are defending them, you're going to have to defend all of this when your children and grandchildren ask what happened during this time of history. Just to sum it up with ICE, we need to find a better way to get people to actually come into the country and get through the immigration process. Yes, I know they have to take language classes, they have to go through a bunch of American history and things of that nature. Let's find a way to expedite the process and while still securing the borders, and I think we can do that without the treacherous actions that the Trump administration and ICE agents are taking right now.
I can completely understand not wanting to mix with other cultures and other races. I can understand your children wanting to go to school with people that are like your children and nobody else. I can understand that. But 50 years from now, do you want to be known as the people that was yelling and spitting and throwing things at Ruby Bridges? You got to make sure that you are on the right side of history, because the thing you don't want to do is have to explain 20 or 30 years from now to your children about why you were on that other side of the picket fence. Humanity first, always.
Well, I'm gonna summarize everything like this. You shouldn't be in fear of anybody if you do what you're supposed to do. If you stick together, make sure that you have a security force. And when I say security force, that don't mean everybody come with guns or whatever. Just make sure that you're available. So if 500 people come and attack a city or something like that, you got 5,000 there. That just means you're going to protect your family. You're going to protect your culture. And black people, we got to do that. We got to quit being distracted. Drugs, all this, get in the bag. Let's just basically have a fundamental agreement that we're going to protect each other. And that's where everything is going to start from. And if we do that, we'll be all right.
Welcome back to Woke at Midnight. We just got done with the intense conversation about ICE and the Trump administration, but it's always a lot of talk. But the question is, what do we do next? What are the solutions? So let's really talk from a political standpoint as to what can we do as a black community really to come together. This is a conversation we always hear. Maybe we should do a black party. Maybe we should, the Black Panthers, or maybe we should just go all Republican or Democrat. There's a lot of different opinions on it, and so us three, let's go ahead and talk about that. I'm gonna start with you first, Summer. What are your thoughts in terms of, from a political standpoint, how do black people come together and what should we do?
Well, I'm getting ready to say, who is black people? I always say that when people say black, you gotta be real careful about what you say. One of the problems I think happens in the modern world is what I call as intellectual theater. People are performing intellect, and when there is a conversation that I feel like I do not know enough about, I do not have a problem listening. I do not perform intellect. I actually am intellectual. So therefore, I will have to sit this conversation out, but I will rebut if I hear foolishness. Which segue, Joel?
Okay. You might be about to hear some foolishness from me.
I don't doubt it.
So, strap up. So, I'm just going to be honest, okay? Anybody who runs for president, okay, on the Democratic side, will have to attack and will have to attack white supremacy. There's no negotiating. There's no nothing. That need to be first on your agenda to attack white supremacy.
How does that happen?
Cannot. Well, how does it happen?
How do you attack white supremacy when it's really a business model, and the white supremacy is how that person became president?
And I'm going to tell you how. You know what conspiracy means? Does anybody know what conspiracy means? So yeah, let me just kind of let you know what conspiracy is. Conspiracy is basically when you are involved in a crime, or you conspire to commit a crime. So let's talk about who conspired to overthrow the government. So for many years, right, black people get caught up. They're going to the little neighborhoods and they're doing indictment on 50 black kids, right? Got a drug gang. This is a drug gang. I might have known you 6 years ago, but I used to hang with you. No, you conspired to commit the crime. You knew what he was doing. You conspired. You know how many people are in jail on conspiracy? So let's talk about the real conspiracy going on in this country and how we're going to attack it, right? Anybody who runs for president, let's go down there. Fox News. All the lies that were told on Fox News. All the lies. Everybody should be locked up because they conspired.
Let me just jump in here and say that Fox News has gone on a record and in court and say that they're not real news. Anything that a reasonable person wouldn't believe that what they really be saying.
Yeah. But that's why they got courts of law. You understand what I'm saying? But you have to indict everybody who was involved in the overthrowing of the government and and oppressing and committing all these horrendous crimes. You understand what I'm saying? For the last 2 years and the 4 years before when he was in office.
So to support what you're saying, I don't think it's just as simple as white supremacy. What I do think is big companies and big donors should not be allowed because they buy the politicians, and the politicians are doing what their donors say. So that should be absolutely illegal.
Right.
I think that should be illegal.
Yeah, and I don't disagree with you, but I'm taking it a step further. Okay. So now it's easy for you to indict, as you would consider lesser, poor black people. You go into their neighborhoods, indict them for anything, give them 20, 30 years. So let's do indictments on stuff that really matter, right? So let's see all the people who was involved in this conspiracy to overthrow the government. The whole Republican Congress, everybody was involved in this. They protected this. So if you investigated this, if you investigated this, right? You know how much evidence that you would have? 10 times as much as that you have when you indict the average drug dealer off the street. If you don't do that, they're gonna keep doing the same old thing, and we're gonna end up at the same old place, right? So what we do is we have politicians that come in and try to just appease everybody. Let's just try doing what's right, right? So you want black kids, poor kids, right? You want them to uphold the law to the highest degree, but you'll give them 30, 40 years for nothing. These people commit crimes on society
and humanity.
Right. And you let them go all the time. Trump has been convicted on how many
it's money.
Can we say he's the worst criminal of all time?
But it's money.
Well, let me also say this. If you do any research, or you can just ask AI, ChatGPT, Gemini, Grok, Claude, if you ask them all to say who's the most lioness president in history, they're all going to say Donald Trump, and it's an obvious thing. So if you actually think Trump is telling you the truth, then that's really crazy. Right. But let me also say this, because you hear this from a lot of people. All right, the other side of this is that, well, the Democrats are the same thing. It's just two sides of every coin.
That's the problem.
Like the Democrats, with their power, you still got black men getting locked up for nothing. You still have the Biden crime bill. You still have all of this stuff. The Democrats are just as bad as the Republicans. CNN are a bunch of liars. MSNBC are a bunch of liars. I mean, that's what they're saying. Our people are saying that.
It's a deflection.
It's a deflection.
Just like when they say not all men.
Not all men, dude. Yeah, it's just like
Talk more about that deflection, Summer.
It's like when you say, I'm so tired of men doing this, and then there's some guy who goes, well, not all men. It's a deflection tactic. Well, the Democrats, it's like, we're not, even in our conversation, we never said the Republicans do this. We never said the Democrats do this. We're talking about this particular president and this administration. We never said that, And I do personally believe that we have Biden, we have Obama, and you have Bush. You have three. Is there another one? Is there another Clinton? That is 4 active presidents that were leaders of the free world. And you mean to tell me 4 previous presidents do not have enough influence to stop some of this madness?
Right.
I haven't been the vice president of a company for 8 years. I still have influence to go in there and be like, is this true that you guys are doing this? And they seek my counsel and wisdom. And that is a company of only 5,000 people. You mean to tell me 4 living presidents don't have enough influence?
I agree with you 100%. And I supported Biden. I supported Kamala Harris. But I will say this about Biden, right? I don't even know what word I can use to why Donald Trump wasn't locked up. Merrick Garland did not lock up. Are you seeing these Epstein files? And nobody has been locked up. So that right there is sad. Now I love Obama. Don't get it twisted. Just like I love Martin Luther King. But whenever I say anything against a black leader, people get, oh, why are you saying that? We gotta tell the truth, right? I just want to ask you, Obama, how did we get that Supreme Court justice in when you had a whole year, brother? How?
Oh my God, I don't have no more gummies.
Oh, that's no.
But maybe I got something in here. Yeah, I got a little something. My break from work. But I can't go back. Smelling like this. Where's my chronic killer? I need my chronic killer. Oh, there it is. Yes. Oh, strawberry.
You see? I come when it comes. Nothing. No ganja, no nothing. Who killed the chronic? You did. Chronic killer.
Oh, it smells so good.
Okay, you're on your own. Your boss is coming.
Oh, okay. Gotta go. That's good.
This is what I'm saying, that we have to stop being soft, right? We need a general as a leader. Now, I back Kamala even before a lot of people did. I think Kamala would have made a great president.
She wasn't it though.
I think she would have made a great president.
I'm not saying she would have made a great president,
because
but she just wasn't
the
it.
reason why is because I think she would have prosecuted everybody. And that's what we needed, because now, do you see what happened when you embolden fools? Look how they running around here acting.
Now,
like
I
they
never
ain't
said
had-
anything
yeah.
negative about Kamala publicly until she lost. But
Right.
even when she got when Biden dropped out, which was a setup, by the way, because he knew he wasn't going to complete that race in the beginning. He only gave her 12 minutes, if you ask me, to get her campaign together. But she wasn't it.
I think she is it.
No, when I say she wasn't it, she did not connect with the people. Now, let me tell you what really messed up. You want to talk about Obama? What he should have did was let Bernie run. Tell Hillary, sit your ass over there and chill, and let Bernie. Bernie would have had the country behind him, and Trump would not, because Trump ain't never ran against a white man before. Bernie would have had the whole party.
Let me tell you something, and I didn't have to have this argument too many times. Bernie Sanders ever become president, he'd destroy the whole world. So here's the thing. Bernie Sanders.
Get my stuff to go. You saying Bernie?
Yes.
And
Let me
Trump
tell you.
is president? He gonna be worse than Trump?
Let me ask you one question about Bernie Sanders, right? Just one. And this is what people don't understand. Bernie is selling the same thing that Trump sold, but he for poor white people. That's exactly what Trump sold, right? Bernie Sanders, how many times has he said, well, he been running for president about the last, as long as Obama had, right, about the last 20 years. How many times did he say, oh, well, black people getting discriminated against? He always bring in with the poor white people. That's all he ever does.
So you're
and when
saying
nobody speaks, anytime you get a politician and they don't speak on what black people are going through, they're not in touch.
So you don't think Bernie could have beat Trump?
Huh? It's not about Bernie beating Trump. The point being is that he would be a terrible president.
If he got beat the
so
first time, we would not even be here. If he got beat the first time, Trump has always had to run against a woman. No, like patriarchy is not a thing here.
Bernie wouldn't win because the socialism would get him.
I don't
agree with socialism anyway. I think that's the exact opposite of what black people need. So
Trump has something unique about him, which he just lies consistently, and then he tells his entire administration and his whole entire cabinet, "Hey, just lie about it. Just lie, and we'll be fine. We have the power." I don't think Bernie would do that, even though he has extreme policies to the left when it comes to socialism, when it comes to the giving out, splitting resources. Listen, capitalism is a good thing when used correctly and has the correct checks and balances. All right. Somebody should be able to earn their way to the type of life that they want to build, and without part of it being taken from them in order to share with other people. However, we are a democratic nation in which capitalism is a the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. The middle class shrinks because the rich know what to do and they have the money to do it. And the poor, even if they do know what to do, it's going to be hard for them to do it because they don't have the resources. So it's an automatic, and this is for all the great powers throughout history, really. It's a pattern, for real. But what happens is the rich is going to get richer, and that's what happens in our society. And the only checks and balances we have is for us to say, you know what? You got billions of dollars sitting in your account, and the unemployment rate is going up. We got to take some of that from you and put it back into the system. You know, it's like oil to a car. Cash needs to be flowing throughout the system. Do it fairly, of course, you know, in a way where it benefits society, but it has to be done. But at least Bernie had that type of mindset in which you have to stop the billionaires from having the money sitting on the side. Otherwise, it's going to drain money from the system. It's going to ruin everything. I'd rather have Bernie than Trump for that reason. But America, we're always at a pendulum. All right, if we're not in the middle and we're together, then we're all the way on this side. We're all the way on this side in order to try to overcompensate and overcorrect for for the slights that we feel like has been done to us. You know, and what we need to do is try to get back to the middle, but with smart policies.
But we was in the middle. Barack is in the middle. Kamala is in the middle. They not all the way left. They're in the middle. You understand what I'm saying?
With that.
Now here's the thing that this is what white people do. When you have Biden in there, they always try to act like they gotta help us. Do you understand what I'm saying? Instead of running the country, let's give the black people, let's do this. We don't need your help, bro. What we need is you to quit letting people steal. What we need is you to throw Donald Trump and all his cronies in jail. That's what we need. You understand what I'm saying? So the point is, we just need somebody to have. We need a fair playing field, and that's what Barack used to say all the time. Just make it fair.
A fair playing field is not going to happen with a president, until we get reparations. There is no playing field.
Well, that's what. So
there is no playing
field. So that's
field
why we're
that.
having this discussion now about the type of president that we would need. But I really thought that Kamala would get the job done. Now, it's a couple things that I don't agree with her on. So what? I don't agree with nobody on it. You on everything. You understand
of
what I'm saying?
course.
So it sounded like you're saying we need to stay Democrat. We need to stay Democrat and kind of hunker down.
No, what I'm saying, if any Democrat don't commit to tackling this problem of white supremacy, then I'm not voting for him. I don't even feel comfortable voting for any more white people. You can't trust them because they let Trump come in there and do all of this crazy stuff. And our lives is on the line every day when that man is in office. So I got a problem with that.
So when we talk about white supremacy, what I want you to, white supremacy is a cancer. And I have noticed more black people who voted Democrat, who are anti-Trump. They sounding like little white supremacy soldiers now. They like, I say lock them all up. Send them all back to their home country. I'm like, what? Well, how did that? You just turned MAGA just like that with the stroke of a wand?
And let me just kind of jump in really fast. I'm sorry, but you brought up a good point. It's a lot of guys that say that. A lot of the black men out here, and it stems from the insecurity. It's like they're taking our jobs. I'm like, bro, you're letting a bunch of people that can't even speak English take your job? That sounds like a you problem.
Like, we're in a hotel as a maid. What's going on with you?
Well, we can get into the young men problem later on. That's a whole nother subject.
That's older guys,
right?
The truck drivers and the
because it's low self-esteem. Anytime you say somebody can take your job is the craziest thing that you don't even know the country you're living in. Yeah, you're probably too busy doing one or two things you haven't lived, and you don't know what living is.
But let's finish that.
Yeah, but go ahead.
I wasn't finished. What?
I interrupted you with the low self-esteem in black guys, but if you forgot, then we can go back to that.
Go back.
Yeah. So I don't know where we.
Yeah, my bad. Okay,
I'm just saying the racism is infectious. It's a cancer, and you have black people that we actually love and respect, sounding like they have little KKK hats. Lock them up, throw them all in jail, send them back to their country. Yeah, I don't care. And I'm like, well, when did that? How did that happen? Just that quick? People can't see past their own pain.
Yeah, that's the point. I see hate. And hate comes in all different ways, but I see hate so much now. I've never seen it like this before. And I've been living a long time, but man, people just hate to hate. And it's crazy because people actually feel like that because your life is not going good, right? And we got to talk about that. How you think Trump got all these people? Because they all feeling the same way. My life ain't going where it at. Yeah, it's because of them, and them. Anybody who feels that way is crazy.
Same playbook.
Your blessings come from God.
It's been the same playbook.
Yeah.
It's been the same
playbook.
Yeah.
Because it's going to always be a lot of people who do things and they know it was their fault. You know what I'm saying? Okay, man, I'm broke. I ain't able to do this. But you just smoked a whole pound of weed. You just did. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not saying anything is wrong with anything you do, but take responsibility. Quit trying to blame other people on why you in the position that you in.
Which is very American.
Yeah.
To blame
so
somebody else.
what? White supremacy doing that? If you do what you're supposed to do, believe me, bro. Believe me, you'll be good.
And just to get back to the topic really fast, when it comes to as black people, what are we doing politically? And you know, I love your point of view. We elect our House of Representatives every 2 years.
Right.
So it's so crazy to me when I hear people say that it's just inherently all corrupt. You can't trust not one politician. That's just how it is, and that's how I voted for Trump. It's like you get to vote for anybody you want every 2 years. They pass the laws, so we do kind of have a say. Your vote does matter. We can make true change and effect through our vote, and it's a lot of people that are just completely that's completely hopeless on that fact. So my thought is this: educate the public, and empower them, and let them know that look, you can make change through your vote. And
can you?
But the politician needs to be a lot more transparent. It needs to be item line transparency. And I know I'm getting a little nerdy here, but what they do is they combine all of the legislation into one bill. And then people don't know how represented they are, and they don't know if their senator or their House of Representatives is actually taking any action for them. There's no transparency for somebody to look on their phone and say, "Oh, my representative fighting for me. Oh, okay, bet. I'm glad you're doing what I voted for." There's no transparency. Therefore, you group all politicians as the same. You say the Republicans and Democrats are the same. They're always going to be the same. We need to start our own black party. And then once we even get to that, which I mean, that's a far climb in itself, because we need first a black leader who's going to be willing to bring everybody together and prove that he can make change,
right?
Him or her, and one party. That's going to be a tough climb. So while we have the two-party system, the Republicans are all liars. We clearly see that. Go with Democrats, elect your House of Representatives, get your voice out there, and also encourage our representatives to be more open.
You think Trump won that election?
No, he didn't win it, of course.
Okay, so you.
But hold on,
that's
before
why
you go.
I say it's intellectual theater.
But before y'all go any further, can I say something real quick to comment on what you were saying?
So you said.
Go ahead.
I'm just playing.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I think people just be putting on. Remember when Trayvon Martin got killed, right? What's the first thing did you ever watch the news and they interview a white person, and the first thing that they would say was, "Well, he did have on a hoodie, he did have this, he did have that." They would never say, "Oh my God, somebody shot that little boy." Da 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 da. They don't care. They always find excuse. The reason why they voted for Obama was because the whole world, the whole country was about to implode. Remember that?
I remember. The whole hire a black man.
Yeah. Remember when the whole
2008 financial crisis?
Yeah, financial crisis came down, right? Now, go further. What happened when Biden became president? COVID. They only ever vote Democratic when it's a crisis so they can save it. Once you save them, they back to the same old thing. They will say anything. Yeah, you got a couple percentage of the people who just really don't know or whatever, but most of them don't care. They're going to make that excuse. Remember when Trump first won and everybody's like, "I'm not voting for Trump," because they was too embarrassed to say it. Remember he won the first time, but the polls was showing he was about to get blew out. They didn't want to vote for a woman in Hillary Clinton, right? And they was going to vote for him, but they weren't going to let you know they voted for him. So all that's just talk. When they be saying, oh yeah, you know, all politicians, when they say all politicians, they really just going to vote for Trump.
Well, I mean black people. Black
Them
people.
too. Them too. When they say all, and then now you throw that in with propaganda, which has been the most valuable thing over the years in the course of history. Propaganda. They say America go into all these countries, all these African countries, and what they do. Propaganda, get somebody over there, another African leader, and then they turn everybody against the other leader and use that propaganda machine, and then now they put their own person in there. America's expert at that.
Let's do this. We'll start with you, Summer. If you were elected as president right now, what would be the top 2 things that you would do?
Arrest Trump and everybody aiding that was aiding him and supporting him. That'd be the first thing that I would do. The second thing I would do is work on a plan for reparations for Black Americans, because you got to have accountability. Reparations, the key word in that is to repair. And there's a reason why when you go to Germany, they have the monuments honoring the Holocaust and the Jews that died, and they paid the reparations and they repaired it. When the Japanese were thrown in camps, the government repaired that. When the American Indians was wiped out, the Americans said, here's the treaty money to repair that. And for whatever reason, when you are Black, there is no repair. Haitians, Jamaicans, there is no repair. Black Americans are owed repair.
Okay. So the first one would have been the same as her, so I'm going to do 2 more then. So the first thing that I would do is I would tell everybody, if you sold drugs, you got 30 days, right, to tie up your business. You can keep all the money. You can do everything. Nobody will get indicted. Nobody. But after 30 days, you better not sell another drug, because we stopping all drugs coming into this country. We're clearing up all drugs. And we're going to train you to go into business. We're going to teach you how much money is in other businesses. So we're going to train you, but we're going to get rid of the drug problem, because that's why everybody distracted. They putting stuff into these drugs that's controlling these kids' mind. That's what's going on. So that would be the first thing that I would do. Second thing that I would do is I would let everybody know that they will have a house. And we would get with the government, we would get with the cities, and we would get with private equity, right? And everybody would have affordable housing, and we will help everybody get a house. Because in this country, what we do is, if you're poor or if we think you're not smart, you get penalized. Life shouldn't be like that. Does that mean because you don't have no money or whatever, you shouldn't be able to live good? That's a competition. We got to get back to love and loving each other.
When you say
right?
penalized, you mean you don't have the basic necessities to live.
Right, the basic necessities to live. Everybody should have that. Now, everything up and beyond that, free enterprise, right? But everybody should have a place to live, food, good food, clean food, and not have to worry about getting killed, not have to worry about drugs. Do you see what I'm saying? So if you clean that up, that's the fundamental. If you clean that up, now you got people that's thinking straight. Now you got people that's aspiring to be something, right? So those would be the first 2 things that would be on my agenda. Mm-hmm. And just to let you guys know, I am putting together Reconstruction 2028. So I'm on this show, I'm gonna be telling people, bring your ideas. Me and AI have been working on this for a long time. And I've got other people that I'm reaching out to. And even AI know all the problems. That's what's so crazy. They were supposed to straighten out the AI where they like, okay, don't let all the racism out. But AI, no, like, yeah, Donald Trump is racist. This is what you do. and they spit all these things out to me.
All right, your turn.
Okay.
gotta wrap it
All
up.
right. All of those were good, and I honestly will take them all and do the same. But my unique one is not just Donald Trump, but the entire Fox organization. Go ahead and take that out and hold media accountable for everything that they're saying. If they're saying a bunch of lies, bring them out to the front, put them on a show, and be like, "Yo, you said this. What's up? Where's your source? Is this true? Why are you lying to the people?"
Yeah.
Hold the entire media more accountable. Thank you for joining us at Work at Midnight. We'll be back soon.
One of the most beautiful things about living in this country is the diversity. And with diversity, it comes diversity of thought and diversity of understanding. And I think it's very important that you take time to consider another person's point of view and be able to have that melting pot of collective thinking so that we can have collective decisions and ultimately have one solution, because this is our only chance to be here, and we might as well be here for a good time, not a long time. Humanity first. One love.
You're so smart.
To go a step further, cause my ability to flow kinda makes me wonder, am I musically demented? And like, what is the reason for my musical existence?